The Geneva Bible, which is actually 1576, says this: the Jews now remain, as it were, in death for lack of the gospel. But when both they and the Gentiles shall embrace Christ, the world shall be restored to new life. When Jew and Gentile will become one. In England, this is 1649, the House of Commons, Britain. John Owen, speaking to the House of Commons, speaks of God bringing home his ancient people. Bring it home. In other words, number one, that he's going to bring the Jewish people back to Israel. Didn't happen until centuries later, but he said it. And they will become one fold with the fullness of the Gentiles. They will come back at the end of the age, and it will be the time of the fullness of the Gentiles. It says it will be an answer to millions of prayers that have been prayed for the glory of God. So there are millions. He's saying there have been millions of people praying, Christians way back, praying for the day that there'll be revival among the Jewish people. They will come back to the Great Commission. They will be a blessing together, Jew and Gentile. At the same time, Scotland, they were praying. There were days of prayer in Scotland, humbling. They called an entire nationwide prayer, and the entire Scotland was praying for what? They were fasting, praying what? They were praying. Here's the quote. They called these days of prayer to pray for the promised conversion of the ancient people of the Jews. Scotland in the 1600s, and they're praying for that now. Scotland now, I know there are believers, but there's also apostasy. I don't know if they'd be praying now, but God honors the prayers that were prayed back then. There was a call to prayer. It's a prayer for the conversion of the Jews and the success of the gospel throughout the world. That was actually a feature. They will not teach you this in school, but the Puritans, a general part of their prayer it was to pray for the salvation, revival of the Jewish people, and the harvest to go to all the nations. They go together.
To find out how you can receive more of Jonathan's teachings, to receive special free gifts, or get in touch, go to hopeoftheworld.org or call toll-free 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821. You can also get more at Jonathan Cahn's Facebook page or write us direct at Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Hope of the World is dedicated to the goal of spreading God's Word and salvation to every land and people. We do this by spreading the Word throughout the world and sponsoring compassion projects to the most poor and needy around the earth. To get in touch or have a part in God's work, just write to Hope of the World, Box 1111, Lodi, New Jersey 07644, USA. Or go to hopeoftheworld.org or call 1-800-YESHUA-1. That's 1-800-937-4821.